every day is important. It's about every parent needs to be contacted and involved. And because of our home visit list, we make connections with our parents and our kids before school even starts to ensure that we can be most successful with their children. It's all about that every kid in Henderson County Schools must be college or career ready, because kids need a great and promising future, and the world needs kids to be ready to produce and to lead. It's about us as school leaders who make a difference every day, because if it's not us, then who will make a difference for children every day? It's about the extra degree in life that makes a difference, knowing that that extra degree separates the good from the great. You can be the difference between good and great in children's lives, and you get to do that every day. Where is that more important? And where is there more important work than that? It's all about being a champion for kids, like Rita Pearson teaches us. Every kid needs a champion. An adult who understands the power of relationships and connections and is never willing to give up on children. Look her up on TED Talk for real talk about teaching. But today is also about a new journey. It's about making new plans, a renewed vision, new leadership, because to get what we have never had before, we must do what we have never done before. It's about going from good to great and beyond to exemplary. Today is a new journey, and it's not about settling to be a state leader, but it's about seeking and being in national leadership places. Today, our new journey is about reaching every student, all of them, 100% of them, with meaningful and life-changing learning. It's about new relationships with students that are created with vigor and purpose and make us remember when. It's about breakaway teaching and leadership, which creates extraordinary learning. It's about new leadership. Ms. Margana Stanley, our new superintendent. Let's give her a round of applause. Most important, our new journey, starting today, is about Henderson County students and you, the people that will be and work with them every day. The staff who can be the extraordinary degree in Henderson in education, that's you, each one of you. You can be the extraordinary degree in education for our children this year who creates phenomenal exponential power, more than just to achieve greatness in the day. But you have the power to achieve greatness for the future, because in the lives of each one of the students that you touch every single day, you change, you will make a phenomenal difference in many people to come. Today is about you. You are Henderson County Schools, and I welcome you to your opening day. Now we will have the presentation of the colors, so please stand by the Henderson County High School JROTC group.
Color guard, all. Order. Color. Left. Face. Jerry. Colors. Present. Arms.
And now we will have the national anthem sung by our Henderson County High School choral director, Mr. John DeFerraro.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the most bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dee Stellers.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Right. Right. Forward. Colors. Forward. March.
That was not the time to start talking. Hang on just a second. Hang on just a minute. As my principals are coming down, I'd like to recognize a few people that are here today, special folks that are here with us this morning. First of all, Mr. Dorsey Ridley and David Watkins have joined us today, so let's give them a round of applause. A couple of our board members, I haven't seen any other ones. If they have, I will beg for forgiveness in just a minute. Principals, if you'll line up alphabetical order, please. Thank you very much. Not to tell you what to do, but that's what you're going to do. But a couple of our board members, Ms. Lisa Baird is here, along with Ms. Jennifer Keach. And our other dignified guests are you guys. So thank you for being here very much. This time, we're going to ask our principals to come forward. And they just got back from a leadership retreat. And actually, you're not first. A.B. Chandler is first. So, just got back from this is how this is going to work. I'm going to tell you when you come up, okay? You can be in charge of your school, and I'll be in charge of right now. All right. First of all, Ms. Brooke Chappelle from A.B.C. Chandler.
Good morning, everyone. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't do alphabetical order, but that's okay. Good morning to everyone and welcome to the 2014-15 school year. I'd first just like to say what an honor it is to be here as the new leader of Chandler. I'm really looking forward to a great year, and I know that you guys are too. As always, our theme at Chandler this year will be centered around leadership, teamwork, and positively influencing the lives of our students. So as I was preparing for today, I found a short poem that really depicts the responsibility that we have as educators to do these things and be great leaders for our students. So I'd like to share that with you today. The poem is called My Hero. My teacher is my hero. She's the captain of our team. My classmates all adore her. She taught us all to dream. It's a dream of overcoming all the challenges we'll face. She helps us build our confidence, prepares us for the race. It's a race into the future, to a place we don't yet know. We've got to be quite versatile, prepared for any foe. My teacher looks for excellence. She says she'll take no less. Now when a challenge faces us, we've learned to do our best. I really adore my teacher, and I'm sure she adores me. When I get to be grown up, she's the kind I want to be. The words in that poem truly depict how we as educators have the ability to change the lives of young people in our schools. It's a great responsibility that I know each of us will embrace. At this time, if our staff at Chandler will stand for just a moment to be recognized, I'd just like to say, as a newly named Leader in Me Lighthouse School, beginning our journey into a new school year, our mission is to continue to work as a team to inspire our students and lead our school to greatness. As we work together this year as a team toward this mission, our focus will be on the fact that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Thank you and have a great school year.
Alphabetically, I have Ben Gates, which is next with Miss Deb. Is that right? Miss Deb Harmon? Miss Deb, Miss Harmon? Oh, Ben Gates.
Good morning, everyone. Unlike Ms. Chappelle, I did not prepare anything because I decided I would speak from my heart. When I started to look for a position of leadership in Henderson County, Bengate Elementary drew me to them. And I told many of my friends that the good Lord would open the right door for me. So, when I interviewed at Bengate, it was an instant fit, I felt. So, I am humbled, honored, and delighted to be the new principal at Bengate Elementary. And at this time, I would like to introduce my amazing staff. Bengate Elementary folks, would you please stand up? Thank you so much. We're off to a great start. We're working on the Leader in Me. We've got great things happening at Bengate Elementary School. We have a variety of people on our staff. We have veteran staff. We have new teachers. We have hit the ground running. Keep your eye on Bengate Elementary School because we are going to be doing great things. Thank you very much.
This time, all the way out from the west side, would be Cairo Elementary, Miss Buffy House. She would like me to sing Because I'm Happy. Because I'm happy. There you go.
Actually, I do have a few visitors that are going to join me this morning. By the way, I am Buffy House, the principal of Cairo, and this summer, the entire staff, we got together and created a new mission statement. This evening at our back-to-school social, we will be sharing that with our parents. But we first decided we wanted to share that with you. So at this time, if I could have my visitors come on out. We also have Hootie the Owl with us. And my Cairo staff, if you wouldn't mind, please stand. And at this time, we will say our mission statement. Our Cairo family will lead by L. Learning together. E. Encouraging others. A. Achieving goals. D. Doing our best. Woohoo! Thank you very much.
Some of y'all teaching middle school and high school, y'all doing that. That is cute. Hey, this guy's already been up once. Central Academy, Mr. Bob Law. Good morning. All right. I'm Bob Lawson. Let me first say thank you to everyone who has donated clothes this summer. Once again, you provided clothing to Central Academy students and families at no cost to them. So thank you. Give yourself a hand, please. At Central Academy, we have life changers. Our people work through challenges alongside students and families and do whatever it takes to make students successful. I'm humbled to work with you. Could the staff please stand? Central Academy team, please. Our mission at Central Academy is to stimulate. Our hope is that by investing in the lives of students, we create a better community. In everything we do, we put kids first. And we believe that together, everyone achieves more. Take us all. Have a great year. Alrighty, all the way from East Heights, would be Miss Julie, our brand newest.
Good morning, everyone. As Mr. Steiner said, I am the proud new leader of East Heights Elementary School. We have a little song to share with you today, so let me get my equipment set up.
She's a new principal. Let's just relax.
We already know we're in the fast lane. We're from Convocation. We are East Heights. We're in control. Remember our name. Oh, do that, do that. Do that, do that. Do that, do that. Do that, do that. Whoa.
Not much to say there other than you guys need to take the Arts and Humanities class on that. I know they got a good teacher over there. Yeah. Other than kidding, not really. Here's County High School, Mr. Chad Thompson.
Wow, I've got nothing now. Good morning. I am the newly appointed principal of Henderson County High School. I'm extremely proud to be back home where I started originally back in 2007 when I came to Henderson County. I would like to introduce to you the faculty and staff of a distinguished and U.S. News and World Report Silver award-winning high school. Henderson County High School faculty and staff, let's hear the Colonel Fight song loud enough so that our community can hear it from Smith Mills to Spotsville.
morning to you too. This time, Jefferson. Moving on up. It's Christy Sanderson.
Good morning. Every time I hear the fight song, I almost want to break out my old cheerleading moves there. It's kind of exciting. If my Jaguar family would please stand this morning. I'm Christy Sanderson. I'm the principal at Jefferson Elementary. We are very excited to start another year of growing leaders at Jefferson. We have some new staff, some seasoned staff, and even some returning staff. Woo-woo! And at Jefferson, we live the 7 habits because we believe that great leaders We did practice it. We're going to try one more time. We believe that great habits Awesome job. You guys have a wonderful school year.
They just got in, they had to go a different way, they couldn't come across the bridge, but Niagara is here, Miss Paige Onan.
All right. Okay, on one side of my card, it says a foot-long turkey with wheat, cucumber, lettuce. Oh, other side. Okay, here we go. I would like to introduce to you a team of leaders that put student learning first as their top priority. Not many other schools to do this, but I'm going to do it in 2 minutes. The best kindergarten team in the county, Miss Shelton, Miss Breedlove, Miss Bradford, Miss Roberts, Miss Gish, Miss McElvain, please stand up. Some great first grade teachers will teach you how to read. Miss Christian, Miss Ziliak, Miss Hetty. A wonderful second grade crew, Miss Bailey, Miss Morris, Miss Gray. The best third grade teachers in the district, Miss Seward, Miss Summers. A great fourth grade crew, Miss Cobb, Mr. Stanley, Miss Pike. A wonderful fifth grade teachers, Miss Farley, Miss Duckworth, Miss McMillan. A wonderful librarian, Miss Roan. A great speech teacher, Miss Hockey. The best counselor I've ever met, Mr. Pirtle. A wonderful new curriculum specialist, Miss Kitzman. The best special ed crew in the district, Miss Kirsch, Miss Bartlett. The 2 best secretaries you'll ever meet, Lori Yonan and Leah King. The nurse from the top, Miss Melissa Taylor. And a great team of custodians and kitchen workers back at our school. We are going to have a great year. Thanks for meeting the Niagara team of leaders. Stand and give them a round of applause.
And right now, I'll name all their kids. Bill, Stephen, John, Susan. There's one more. North Middle, Mr. Zach Wendell.
Good morning, I'm Zach Wendell, new principal at North Middle School. I'm so excited to be back home. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the NMS family. Please stand for me. And no, I'm not saying everyone's name because I don't know everybody yet. All right, faculty and staff, let's show them some cadet pride. Hit it, cadets.
I know you're new, but you said back home, this is South. You should be at the other school. It'll be a long year for Lord. I was just kidding, I'm sorry. I got, from the South Side, Mr. Rob Carroll from South Heights.
All right, I'm proud to be beginning my 18th year as principal of South Heights Elementary School. Last year at the end of the year, we said that next year, which is this year, that's kind of confusing, would be our best year ever. So that means we're going to bring more team spirit, bigger and bolder events. We're going to love kids more. We're going to be louder at ball games. We're going to do all those things. A wise man once said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it, and that's what we intend on doing. I was debating last year because we created our own fight song about doing it. And then once you guys did the Henderson County High School fight song, I was texting my group going, no, no, no. And they were texting me back going, yes, yes, yes. So if the South Heights Elementary team would stand up, Audra Corsi, if you'll lead us in our fight song.
Next door neighbor happens to be South Middle, Mr. Ryan Rush.
We're always so happy that you come. This is our favorite time of the year. One reason is because we clean the place so well. You know, we're ready for school now. Change is good. Change is good. A lot of changes going on right now. Mr. Carroll and I are now the elder statesmen of the principal group. I feel like I've just started, so I don't know how that works. So we got a lot of great change. A lot of people think that there's challenge that comes with change, but we think at South, it's an opportunity. We honestly think that we'll be better this year than we were before. A new spirit, new energy. We're very excited about that. I'm going to share with you a quote, my favorite quote of the summer. This is what I want to challenge you this year. Here it goes. You show me a team that has ownership, I'll show you a team that beats its competitors. I challenge you to have ownership in whatever role that you have at your school this year. Now, I would like for the distinguished school, South Middle School, to stand up.
Yep, I like that one. Here's another one y'all can use. It's hot in here. It's hot in here. There must be a bulldog in the atmosphere. That might be a good one. All right. Just a free for you. Welcome back. Woo! All right. Possible, Miss Beth Watson.
Good morning. Our team at Spottsville the last few weeks has spent countless hours embracing the 7 habits, and I am proud to say that Spottsville is a leader in me school, and we're working very hard to change our environment and culture to be the best school we can be. I ran across this quote while looking for inspirational quotes, and I feel like this kind of sums us up. Because individually, we are one drop of water, but together we are an ocean. So, Spottsville, please stand. We are. Way to go, guys. Love you.
All righty. Also in the house today. Hey, we're finally at the end of our alphabet, the way we keep it today. And Miss Alicia Sheridan upstairs. Thelma B. Johnson.
Good morning. We are so excited about this new year. Last year we had 437 brand new families and brand new children come through our door, and we get to do it again this year. So we're very excited about it. I'd love to tell you about the importance of early childhood, the 11% rate of return, how we get these kids school ready, our expected growth rate on all 52 early childhood standards for those 437 children were between 96 and 98%. But what really matters is those kids walking through the door. And boy, they can tell you some funny things. We have the little ones who come in knowing how to set parental controls on the computer, and those who don't. We had Miss Rhea setting everyone at the computer lab to teach them how to log into the computer, how to put their names in so that they'll be ready for school when they get to you. And so after she gives all her instructions about how to use the mouse and how to click it, she says, okay, now then, it's your turn. Let's log into the computer. And every child of 20 in that class reaches up to the computer to touch the screen. We also teach behavior. Some kids haven't been taught all the things that are expected in school. So as we're teaching behavior, we go through what's called conscious discipline with our children, our teachers, and our families. So we had one child come in who was working in the block center very diligently, but when it was time to put it away, not quite ready. So the assistant goes over and uses some of her conscious discipline and says, wouldn't you love to help your friend put the toys away? And she looks up at the teacher and says, are you the boss? Then we're all kind of shaking about this new evaluation system. What does this look like? What does this mean to us? And we have one, and how it works with our positive behavior systems in the school. Well, I have one teacher at the end of the year who came to me, and she was shaking, she was in tears, and she said, you're going to have a grandmother call you. And she said, she had her hair in braids, and she got hold of the scissors in the art center and snipped them. And oh, you know, it happens. We're sitting there going, okay, as a leader, it's going to be okay. You know, my own daughter cut her hair right before family portraits. I cut my sister's hair, New Bangs with Pinkin shears. For those of you who don't know, that's just zigzaggy scissors, so she has zigzaggy scissors. I'm glad to see Mr. Dorsey Ridley here. We babysat his children, and his youngest daughter, Sarah, decided to cut her own bangs one year, not while we were on watch, but she did. So I tried to console her, and I said, at the beginning of this year, we had no little girl, long waist, long hair in pigtails. I said, she got the hold of the scissors and snipped off a whole pigtail. And she went, that was my child too. Needless to say, that teacher no longer has scissors in her classroom. She checks them out for me, and it will be in her professional growth plan this year. We teach kids coming in who are ready to read. We teach all different levels of children. You don't know where they're coming in that first day. We teach the very high and differentiate to the children with special needs. My favorite story is Related Services called me one day and said, you've got to see this little boy. We met him at 2½. His mode of getting from one place to another was rolling. He rolled everywhere he wanted to go. He would never be able to stand upright and walk on his own. His legs are locked in a straight position and with his toes pointed. So she calls me down and says, we've got a power wheelchair for him. Come down and see him working his own wheelchair. This created independence for this child to go anywhere he wanted to in the building. So she's training him to go in a straight line, and he's using his head to make this chair go. So he's using his head. He's picked up the skill of going as fast as he can down that hall. And his little legs are sticking out on a power wheelchair. And Miss Sandy says, Brayden, what are you doing? Because as he gets going faster, his legs go up. And she said, why are you doing that with your legs, Brayden? He said, Miss Sandy. And as he picks up speed going straight, I'm running. So we teach it all. We teach to every child. And I would like for our staff to stand up and talk about our motto for our kids.
Every child, every effort, every day. Woo!
I'll leave you with one last thought. The screener, that is the state screener, asked one question on it that said, where do you live? And a busy little girl was working as she was being screened, and she said, we said, where do you live? She said, in the White House. Oh, but not Obama.
Well, rather, this introduction would have been nice. Okay. That was a good one, wasn't it? Was that a good one? I agree. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll just get it. All right. There's a couple other groups that I want to say real quick, and I won't say all their names, but I'm going to say our maintenance department has done a great job getting our schools ready. A couple of them are here. And they do a great job. Our transportation department is here because there's nothing to do today. And he's going to get busy real soon. Yes, there they are. All right, good. And I know some of y'all got jokes, and I got about 50 messages to see if this thing was on. So no, it's not. But yes, I do realize that I didn't say one of our guests earlier was Mr. Herb McKee, because Mr. Herb McKee is now going to come and introduce our speaker about Home Visit Blitz. So Mr. Herb, if you'll come on.
Thank you, Mr. Steiner, and good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Everybody awake? It's my honor to introduce our next speaker, but before I do, I would like to lift your attention to something I don't have to remind you of, how important our state legislators are to our school district. This morning we have with us two, and they're the finest, most dedicated, passionate to education legislators, I believe, in the Commonwealth. Senator Dorsey Ridley and Representative David Watkins. Will you join me and tell them how much we appreciate it? We thought it was pretty important to show off our school district's professional dedication and enthusiasm to our next speaker, and you're certainly doing that. He's Senator Mike Wilson. Senator Wilson is the state senator for District 32, which includes all of Warren County and the city of Bowling Green. He currently serves on these committees: Economic Development, Tourism, Labor, Veterans and Military Affairs, Public Protection, and last but certainly not least, of key interest to us, he is the chairman for the past 2 years of the Senate Education Committee. Will you join me in showing Senator Wilson what a warm Henderson welcome is all about? Senator Mike Wilson.
Well, thank you very much. It's certainly an honor to be here. And Herb, I appreciate your keeping in touch with me and directions and how to get here and everything. And I want to say a special thanks to my colleague, Senator Ridley, because he did contact me last year. And unfortunately, much I can see to my own loss of not being able to come, I had a conflict in my schedule, but thanks for pursuing me for being here this year to be able to come and address you. And I want to say, you know, it was great to see Steve Steiner again. I believe the last time I saw him was the LA Comedy Club. And Morgan, I need to commend you for hiring a comedian for administration. I need to recommend that to all the superintendents. So, but no, thank you, Steve. It's been very enjoyable this morning. I appreciate it. You know, I was thinking about coming and talking today. Of course, I had to get up very early in Bowling Green, as you know, to be able to be here at 8 o'clock. And so I didn't get to have breakfast. And it reminded me of a preacher who went to preach at a circuit church, and he stayed with a family overnight, got up in the morning, and the mother had fixed this great breakfast, and, you know, she sent her son up there to tell him to come down and eat. And he said, "Oh, no, thanks." He said, "I speak better on an empty stomach." So she was very concerned. She went to all this trouble fixing this meal. She decided she sent one of the other kids up there to try to get him to come down and eat something before they went to church. He had his sermon and the message and everything. And he said, "No, thanks. I've already told you once, and I'll tell you again, that I speak better on an empty stomach." So finally they, get in the car and they're heading to the church. And the mother says, "Are you certain that we couldn't stop here, someplace and get you a little bite to eat before you deliver your message this morning and everything?" He said, "Ma'am, I've told you twice now, and I'll tell you again that I speak better on an empty stomach." Well, certainly they had their meeting, and he preached and got done, and he was shaking everybody's hand. It was time to get with the family, go back to the house, pick up his car, and head home. And he asked the mother, he looks at her and says, "Well, how did I do?" And she looked at him and she said, "You should have had the breakfast." So hopefully when I get done today, you won't say to me, "You should have had the breakfast." But what an honor it is for me, being the chairman of the Senate Education Committee. I've served on that committee for 4 years and had the blessed fortune to be the chairman for the past 2 years. Traveled around the Commonwealth in many different districts, and what I find is all the innovation and things that are happening at the local level. And let me just commend you for this blitz that you are doing. I'm going to tell you that relationship is the key to everything, and it makes all the difference in the world. There's not one of us here that cannot point back to a teacher that we had a relationship with, that made a difference in our life, that changed the course of our life, that did something that contributed to us in a great way. And I could go through and enumerate a lot of them, but I'll tell you, there was one I remember in the 6th grade, Miss Taylor. She was beautiful, and all of us boys, 6th grade boys, you know how 6th grade boys are. She taught us a love for music because we had music and we learned all those Rodgers and Hammerstein songs and Broadway musical songs, and that created an interest for me that I was able to pass on to my kids. They all play instruments, they all sing, they all love the arts. And I think of my daughter who had a teacher that encouraged her to try out for a play, and she's an actress today. Been in Justin Bieber video and all kinds of videos and short films and things and plays. But as I look at that, I think about how important your job is. The job that you have is probably, in my mind, the most important job in our country today, because you are shaping the future of not only the Commonwealth, not only Henderson, but the United States of America and our world. You have that raw talent right there before you to mold and shape, to invest in. And I know it gets tough a lot of times being a teacher. You have a lot on your plate. I believe personally that we test the fire out of our kids too much. I believe that you have so many other things that you have to take care of instead of just teaching. And so that's one of my things that I look at as chairman of the Education Committee. I hate putting those unfunded mandates and things on teachers and on schools. I have 3 passions in education. And I am pleased to see that one of them is taking place here, and that is the leader in me. Because I am convinced there is nothing else that we can do that would change the workforce of Kentucky more than the leader in me. We implemented that in Bowling Green and Warren County, started in our elementary schools, went to our junior high schools, and this year we will begin to implement it in all of our high schools. I remember Moss Middle School, and I've toured the school several times, had a joint education committee so that I could have all the educators come down and be able to tour the school and see the difference that it makes. And that school is probably, 75% free and reduced lunch. We're a refugee center, so we have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 different languages in that school. They had 256 referrals the year before they put it into the school, and the very first year they had it, that went down to 50. The second year they had it, it went down to virtually 0, just a folder with a few. And it's amazing to walk up to a school, and when you're getting there, the student looks you in the eye, shakes your hand, and says, "Welcome, Senator Wilson. My name is such and such, and I will be your guide today." And they stand before us and speak in ways that without the and ofs, without anything, I mean, so professional. 7th and 8th grade students, and the superintendent, Rob Clayton, leans over to me and he says, "You should have her write some of your speeches." And I agree with him. It's making a tremendous difference. The other is access to technology. And the last is career tech ed. Because let me just spend a couple of minutes and tell you about the face of education's future. One of the things that is happening in America is that manufacturing is coming back to the United States, and it's coming back in a big, huge way. But this is not your grandfather's manufacturing or even your father's manufacturing plants. These are advanced manufacturing plants with advanced manufacturing jobs. I work for a company where we have machine and tool, but it's no longer the machine and tool that my dad knew because he was a millwright. In fact, these guys have to know how to program these CNC machines to work on them. And you know, the wages that these things pay is tremendous. We have shortages in those skills. In our area alone, we are short 4,500 skilled labor jobs that we don't have the people to fulfill. And by the year 2020, we will be 9,000 short. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce tells us that 3 million jobs go unfulfilled every single year because we don't have people with the skills to fill those jobs. One other area that's happening is computer programming. Now, all of our kids are experts in technology. I don't know about you, but today I learned that my son had the ability to take his cell phone and keep it in his pocket and text without even looking at it. I was horrified to think that he was in class doing that. You teachers, you probably seen this, but I was just horrified to realize that that's what he was doing. And he told me that it was okay. We know they're experts in technology and iPhones and all of those things. In fact, whenever we have to hook up the VCR and all of these things now, gadgets to the television that has Wi-Fi on it, I bring my kids in and make sure that they do it. But you know, the area that is not experts in is programming. By the year 2020, we will have a deficit of 1 million computer programmers that we are not producing in the United States. And those jobs start at $75,000 to $100,000 a year. Incredible. You know, there was a delegation of us that went to Microsoft out in Washington, Redmond, Washington, from the governor's office, the House, and the Senate. They had 2,500 jobs. They employ 190,000 people. And 30% of their workforce is there on work visas from other countries because we can't provide the people they need. They had 2,500 jobs posted online that had been posted for over 90 days that they just couldn't get filled. That is the future, and education is so important to how we direct our children into where they're going to use their skills and abilities. Because I don't believe that every kid has to go to a 4-year university. In fact, 80% of all jobs in the future require a 2-year technical degree, certificate, or apprenticeship. Only 20% of them are going to require a 4-year degree. And I want to say that, you know, one of the things that you have the opportunity to do is you have the opportunity to influence children in the area of their giftedness. You have the ability to encourage them. You know, our counselors in school, I think the ratio is about 400 to 1 that they're counseling. And it's hard to be able to spend time with each and every one. You know, I know they're focusing on making sure they have everything they need to go to college, but they're also dealing with disciplinary actions and things like that. That's why I think as teachers you have a great opportunity. A great opportunity to influence kids in their gifted areas so that They can see that there are careers out there for them. We had 4 students that graduated down in Simpson County from Franklin Simpson High School, and in dual credit, they earned their welding certificate. Those kids, as 19-year-olds or 18, turning 19-year-olds, in their first year as a welder, will make $45,000. Their second year, they'll make $52,000. And if they're willing to go out of state to some other places, like Texas is paying $100,000 a year for certified welders. These are all things that we're looking at that's happening in our country, and you are an integral part of that. So that is one of the things that I think about this morning as I sit here before you, as I see being on the Economic Development Committee, because the question that companies ask when they want to come to states and they're looking at different states where they want to locate, one of the first questions they ask is, can you provide the workers that we need, the skilled laborers that we need? Can you provide that for us? There's some great things taking place in education in Kentucky, and it's not coming down from KDE. It's not coming down from us as legislators. It's bubbling up here from you guys. From every single district and schools across the Commonwealth, we see things taking place like Kent County's Career Academy, Elkhorn Crossing School, where they have career academies. I mean, I could just go on. Lee County, Kentucky. There's a Microsoft engineer that is by Skype teaching a computer programming class. It's amazing, all of these different things, but you know, we don't have a way to scale that, but thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your investment today to go out to somebody's house, to a student's house, knock on the door, and meet them and the parents. What a difference that is making here in Henderson County. Relationship is the key. It is the key moving forward in education. There's an old story about Christopher Wren, and I'm sure that most of you don't know who he was, but he was in England. He was one of the great architects in history. He was commissioned to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral after the Great Fire of 1666, which destroyed London. One day, while work was going on, he observed 3 bricklayers on a scaffold that they were sharing. One was crouched and one was half standing, and the other was standing tall and working very hard and fast. Wren asked the first bricklayer, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm working." When he asked the second bricklayer the same question, he responded, "I'm building a wall." But the third bricklayer, when asked the same question by Wren, "What are you doing?" he responded with a gleam in his eye, said, "I'm building a cathedral to the Almighty." My question for you today is, what are you doing? You're building. Maybe the next president of the United States. Maybe the next Bill Gates. Bill Gates credits a high school teacher with teaching him how to write code. And look where he's at today. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the opportunity just to address you for a few minutes this morning. You're doing a great job and a great work here in Henderson County. Keep it up. God bless.